Mei barely has to try to control the panda, earn money to see Four Town, or fight against Ming in panda form. The only time that she actually struggles is when she has to save Ming at the end, but her grandma and aunts immediately jump in to help. After the party at Tyler's house, Mei has a falling out with her friends after she refuses to defend them from Ming. This conflict is resolved very quickly with no impact on the rest of the plotline. There's several possible themes, none of which really work. A. Family is more important than friends. This doesn't work because Mei doesn't have to choose between her family and her friends. B. It's important to question tradition. This theme would only work with Ming as the protagonist, since she is the one who favors tradition. And C. Growing up looks difficult, but it isn't as bad as you think. This doesn't work because most of the reasons why Mei finds growing up difficult are Ming's fault. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Mei. Every day she went to school, hung out with her friends, and was embarrassed by her mom. One day she turns into a giant red panda. Because of that, she becomes very popular at school. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Mei who could transform into a red panda at will. Every day she used her panda power to raise money so that she and her friends could see Four Town in concert. One day she finds out that the Four Town concert is actually on the same night as the lunar eclipse. Because of that, she has to choose between doing the ritual and going to the concert. Except that she had already decided that she wanted to not do the ritual, and she was able to get from her house to the concert in time. The entire plotline involving Tyler does not really serve a purpose, as all it does is cause Mei and her friends to have a falling out, which is resolved in less than 1 minute. Mei adapts very quickly to everything that is thrown at her. When she becomes a panda, she learns how to control it very quickly. When everyone at school finds out about her panda power, they instantly love it and she becomes very popular. When Mei gets into an argument with Ming, she doesn't act like this is anything unusual or unexpected. At the end, Mei reconciles with both her family and friends, gets to keep her panda form, gets to meet Four Town, is very popular at school, and her former bully Tyler no longer bullies her. This film was pitched to Pixar several years before its release, and the story barely underwent any changes after being pitched. During the final scene at the concert arena, there was a complete lack of security and law enforcement. It makes no sense that the band and audience would sing along during the ritual, as they would have no idea what was going on and would be afraid for their safety. It also makes no sense that the arena owners would allow the Lee family to rebuild the center through community donations, as it would be practically impossible to raise anywhere near the $100 million required. Domeishi has been very open about how this film is a metaphor for growing up, and so it is a story that anyone can relate to. Domeishi first pitched this film nearly 5 years before its completion, as she was finishing her work on the short film Bao. This film has many similarities with Domeishi's 2018 short film Bao, from the setting to the themes of growing up and wanting independence from one's parents. Therefore, most of the creative decisions for this film were highly obvious. May's only strong opinion is that she wants to be independent from her parents, and this is not presented as wrong or unjustified. Most of the story is based around Domeishi's life at 13 years old and how she and her mother constantly fought over her independence. Domeishi wrote every scene to ensure that Mei's behavior was as realistic as possible, using her own childhood for reference. What happens if Mei doesn't succeed? That question can't be answered because we don't know exactly what Mei is trying to do, as explained in point 1. As explained in point 12, this film reuses a lot of material from Bao. The only time that Mei was tested was at the end, when she had to save Ming, but where the rest of her family helped her with everything. It sure is convenient that the lunar eclipse lasted just long enough for the family to perform the ritual on Ming and save her. This movie shares the fundamental themes of Bao rearranged to be more obvious and apparent to a wider audience. Domeishi specifically designed Mei's character to be based on her own teenage self in order for people to be able to identify with her. Mei starts wanting independence from her parents. Ming wants to satisfy her own mother by not letting Mei be independent. They argue, but in the end, they all come to an understanding.